Hello y'all and welcome back to my channel. I am shooting just at a different space in my room today, kind of feeling super professional in my little chair, but hey, that's kind of what today's video is all about. I'm super excited. It's going to be a good one. If you're a blogger, an influencer, or someone who's aspiring to start working with brands, or just someone who's interested in this, today's video we are going to be talking about Canva and how to create a media kit using Canva. I have had several media kits before, but the one I have now is very professional, very extensive. I've had several brands who have emailed me back after I've worked with them or sent them my media kit, and they were like, hey, I just want to let you know that your media kit is phenomenal. It is so good, which is something you want when you're working with brands. So that being said, let's dive into this video. Okay, so if you're new to media kits and all that jazz and you're wondering like what the heck is a media kit, I like to think of a media kit as a resume, but for like your blog or just your page. It's basically just a kit that has everything about you, your brand, services you offer, your stats, and all that kind of stuff. Some people don't go as intense as I do. However, I have found that being a blogger under 10K, I can work with different brands because my media kit is so extensive and I put a lot of work into it. So if you are on the smaller side and you think you can't work with brands, if you show them that you have a passion for something, then that's what brands want. They want people who are passionate, and if you can show that by, you know, your media kit and everything like that, then they'll have a better chance working with you. So I would like to say that I have a benefit because I did own a boutique for a while, and I have talked about it. Maybe I will do a YouTube video. I did write a blog post about it, but it just was not my cup of tea. Owning a clothing business wasn't what I liked. It actually made me realize that I liked blogging more. However, I did work with a ton of bloggers when I did have my boutique, and I got sent a ton of media kits. And I can say from most of the people that I did receive media kits from, they were very just like, I don't know how to explain it, but they weren't very detailed. They were very just like typical. They didn't stand out to me, and it didn't really tell me much about them. It just told me what they offer, and some of them even gave me their price and everything. And as a business owner, I was kind of hesitant because it just made me nervous because I didn't really know who I was working with. So that's really why I like to have an extensive media kit, because when the brand sees it and they read it and they know everything about me. They know who I am, like even background knowledge about, like, you know, I'm a junior in college. I nearly said high school. I'm a junior in college. I give them stuff like that so they can kind of know me on a personal level. I give them information about my blog. I also give them information about y'all, my followers, and I give them information about what I offer, my stats, and stuff like that. So before we hop into Canva, I just want to say a few more different things. I will say most media kits that I see, people only include their stats and their services that they offer, and then just their like social media blog, like all their like contact information. But personally, like I said, after owning a boutique, it just didn't stand out to me. So I would like to start out by saying that my media kit is 8 pages long. It's super fun. It's not anything crazy. It's just so that brands know who they are working with. And like I said, I've had so much success with this media kit. I have brands who rave about it every single time, and they're like, this is so good, like more people need to share this, or more people need to know about this and everything like that. So with that being said, let's hop into Canva. And I would like to say, no way I'm an expert. I just wanted to share like what works for me. And I know a lot of y'all, after I shared on my Instagram some Canva stuff that I have created, a lot of y'all were like, how the heck do you create a media kit and what should you include? I'm not going to show y'all my media kit just because I want to keep it personal. I want to keep it unique to me, but I will tell you things that you should put on different pages. And like I said, mine's very extensive. You can cut out as many pages as you want, but these are just some things that I would include in a media kit. So let's hop to it, y'all. Okay, first things first, we are heading into Canva, and I like to use the poster setting for my media kit. I've used it. The pages are a great length and size, so that's the first thing that I do. Then I am going to go over here and pick my colors. When you are creating a media kit and your business, you want to have a select color palette that people always know is your brand. For instance, all those pinks on the left are all the colors that I use for my brand. These are the 3 fonts you see to the left as well are my brand's fonts. So the first page we're working on is just the cover page. You can keep it super simple. And for this right now, I'm just showing you what each page is and explaining it. And at the end, I will share what I would do if I was creating my own media kit. Okay, so here I'm just adding some pictures to my cover page. You can do this any way you want to. You can add as many as you want. However, I incorporate many pictures into my media kit, so I don't add too many to my cover page, but I would suggest picking your best photos, maybe the ones you got the most engagement on, maybe a time where you just felt super confident, somebody complimented you, something like that. I don't suggest using your profile picture yet because I will explain that on a different page. It's better to do it on a different page. But here I'm just choosing 2 photos that I really like about myself or 2 photos I really like and also more updated photos. Remember, for a media kit, you want to update it you want to update a media kit pretty frequently so that your stats are up to date and so that your pictures are up to date as well. So I am just creating a little page, and we are going on to the second page, which is the About Me page. So for this one, this is where I suggest putting your profile picture. I personally like to make my profile picture look like it's on my Instagram. So in a second, you will see that I add a little color circle that has the same colors as Instagram. And all I did was search it in Elements, and that's how I found it. And I just put my profile picture over that. I thought it was a fun touch. I did it for my business cards in Canva as well, and I thought it was a super cute idea. I can't remember exactly. I think it's called Gradient, how I found this, and then you can just change the colors up top. And these are not the exact Instagram colors. They are just pretty similar. And so then what I do is, in a second, you will see that I go back to Elements and I take a circle frame, and place it on top of this little gradient right here, that circle right there that I pressed. I'm going to resize it and lay it over so it looks kind of like, you have active stories on Instagram, and this is where I put my profile picture. So it just kind of looks like it's my Instagram profile picture. So for this page, it's pretty simple. It's basically an About Me page. And of course, you want to include why you started your blog, your Instagram page, whatever you have. But you also want to include things about you that aren't really about your blog or Instagram page. So for instance, on mine, I talk about how I attend Texas Tech University, how I am studying public relations, how I like to spend time with friends. Personally, those are key things that brands want to know. Of course, they want to know about you and your brand, but they also want to get to know you on a more personal level. That's great, so they know kind of what you're like. It can also help them figure out if you're a good fit to work with them. It can also, help them figure out what products to give to you and stuff like that. So of course this page is great for brands, but it's also great for you to remind you why you started your blog, what, your purpose of your blog is. I love to come back to this page and read, why I started my blog, which was to inspire women to feel confident in their own skin and to help them feel confident in their style. So I really like to focus on that on the second paragraph, why I started my blog. You can even put goals, stuff like that. Just give them a little rundown of what your whole brand is about. So on these pages as well, I am just sharing what I would put on these pages. I'm typing it out for y'all. Y'all can pause the video whenever and reference them if you get confused. This is just what I include in my personal media kit, and I just did it because I hoped it would be helpful. Okay, moving on to page 3, this is where I talk about my audience. This is not where I talk about my stats. I use a separate page for that. But this is the page where I talk about who follows me, what type of person. Everybody, or you should have a niche, meaning like my niche is fashion, so people who follow me tend to like the same things as me. They like to shop for girly stuff. They like to shop for pink. Not everybody, but majority of your people are going to have the same interests as you. So here I kind of just share a little bit about my audience, and there's a few ways you can figure out who your audience is. One way is by going on your insights on your Instagram page and looking at your followers. Another way is to just simply go on Instagram stories and ask questions. That's what I did. Some questions that I asked were, are you single? Are you married? Are you stay-at-home mom? Do you have a job? Are you in school? Are you in high school or college? Do you have kids? Do you don't have kids? Questions like that. Not only are these questions good for brands because it will help them figure out if you are a good fit, but it's also a great resource for yourself. If a brand reaches out to you and you're like, I'm not really sure if my audience would like this, go back to your media kit and reference this and see what people are saying to the questions that you asked or what your responses were. I've had multiple times where I've gone back to my media kit and realized like, hey, this would not be a good collaboration for my audience. I have a lot of, well, not me personally, but if you have an audience under the age of 18 and you're 21, you probably don't want to share a post about a wine brand. It's not really on brand for your target audience. So it's just a really good reference page. And you can ask whatever questions you would like. These are just some questions that I asked my followers, and you can make it super casual. Like you can just post on Instagram stories and be all like, hey, I really want to get to know y'all. And of course you want to get to know your followers, but it can also benefit you as well by just asking these questions and using it for your media kit. I did this probably a year ago, and I bet you none of my followers even realized that I was adding it to my media kit. But it's also just a good way to break the ice, learn about your followers, and even at the end, you can post your own answers. Like you can say, I think I did that. I said I was in college, I'm not married, I don't have kids, stuff like that. So it's a really good resource for yourself and for brands as well. Okay, and now we are on to the fourth page, which is typically all people include in their media kit, which is the services that they offer. I like to call this the bread and butter, what you offer to brands. So for this page, you can pretty much put whatever you include. I will share in a minute what I include in mine, but this is the page where you're just sharing what you offer brands. It's not really the page where I would include rates if you do charge for working with brands. I personally just like to keep them separate. I have created my own rate sheet. However, I have not started charging for brands, which I would like to say that I personally don't believe in charging brands money to work with me if they are benefiting me more than I benefit them. That's just my personal preference. I know some other bloggers who have a totally different stand on it. I just personally think if I have a smaller following and a brand reaches out to me and they have 100,000 followers and they're offering me free products, I would rather get the free products and get the exposure of working with the brands than not working with them because I didn't get the money that I asked for. So that's just my personal opinion. But anyways, here I put examples too on my media kit of like brands I have worked with. So say I put, I offer social media posting. Well, then I'll put a picture with that I have posted, and like I've worked with Pink Lily, so I will put like underneath like collab with Pink Lily, like the picture I used, if that makes sense. But that's what I do. It's a great example, and it shows the brands just a little bit of what you can do along with what you offer. I would also like to take this time right now and apologize for my typing. I have a different keyboard on my computer than I do on my laptop, so I'm always pressing the wrong button, so it's kind of splotchy, but I get it done. Anyways, moving on to the 5th page. This is a super simple page. If you've worked with a ton of brands, this is just an extra page to share the brands you work with. What I do is I list out literally all the brands I've worked with, and it's kind of like a flex a little bit to the brands, but it also shows them if they are similar to brands you've worked with. It can also be great if a brand is on the fence about you, and because you might have a small following, but they've seen that you've worked with bigger brands successfully, then they will have an easier time being like, okay, you know what, she doesn't have that big of a following, but we're willing to work with her because she has been successful. Okay, and here we are on the 6th page, which is the page that brands are going to dig for. So the good thing about putting the stats page towards the end is that they have to go through your whole entire thing to like your whole entire media kit to get to your stats. So they've learned pretty much a good amount about you and your brand and your followers. And so now they can see like your results of, working with other brands and how engaged your followers are and stuff like that. So like I said, page 5 and 6 are pretty much all people include in their media kits. And now you have, almost 7 pages full of really good content. Here you can just put your social media stats, blog stats, and like a resume, do not put stats that don't benefit you. If you have 5 YouTube followers, don't put that on your media kit because that's not doing anything for you. And it doesn't matter if you have, not as many Instagram followers, but it's still a higher amount. It's going to look real funky if you have like 1,000 Instagram followers and you only have 5 YouTube followers. It's going to look like your followers don't really, expand all over different kinds of platforms. So if it doesn't benefit you, just don't put it on your media kit. It's just like a resume. That's a new rule to follow. Okay, and page number 7, this is just the contact page. Literally put all your contact information, your email, your social media handles, all of them. Even if they're not good, here you can put like, the 5 Instagram followers, you can put your YouTube channel here. It's just kind of to show that you are able to work on different kinds of platforms to brands. You, like I said, put your email, put your website. If you do have a blog, put that here. Make it super simple and spread it out so that brands can, navigate this page super easily. I like to put this at the end. It's pretty self-explanatory, just all the information that brands would need to get in touch with you. So this media kit is pretty much like a resume, and next I'm just going to show you how I would create a media kit as an example for y'all. I really hope this video helped y'all understand like the importance of a media kit, what you should include in a media kit. If you have any questions, you can always comment them below. I'd love to help. If you have any other video ideas that you want to see of things that I can create on Canva, I'd be happy to share. I know a lot of y'all wanted a lot of different tutorials, and I would love to share it with y'all. But yeah, this is pretty much how I have created my media kit and what I've included. And like I said, it took me a long time to figure out everything, but if you follow these simple things that I have set as like standards for different pages for my media kit, then I guarantee it doesn't matter what your numbers are. Sometimes it does, but most of the time, if you're working with a brand and you show how dedicated you are to your followers and your brand, then they are ecstatic to work with you. So like I said, I really hope this video was beneficial, and I hope you can get started on your media kit and flourish as an influencer blogger. Bye guys.